So here we are given that object 1 have an initial velocity of -2 meter per second and an acceleration 3 meter per second squared, and at the same time object 2 have an initial velocity of 5 meter per second and an acceleration of -1 meter per second squared. Now we need to tell that is the speed and the velocity of object 1 and 2 increasing or decreasing. So let's first discuss the concept related to this, and then we'll get back to this question at the end of the video. Welcome to STEM Professionals. In this video we'll discuss three topics. The first one, relating the sign of velocity and acceleration to the change in speed. The next one is decelerating. The next one is V versus T plots with constant acceleration. So let's start with the video. Now in one dimension, velocity and acceleration may have same or opposite direction. So let's discuss the different possible cases and its effect on speed. So this direction we have taken to be positive and this direction we have negative. So first, the rule is when the velocity and acceleration of an object have same sign, that is that points in the same direction, then the speed will increase. Like in this case, acceleration is towards the right side and velocity is also towards the right side, that is they are pointing towards the same direction. That means in this case the speed will increase. Now the next rule is when the velocity and acceleration of an object have opposite signs, that is points in opposite direction, then the speed of the object will decrease. Like in case 2, the acceleration is pointing in the negative direction and the velocity is pointing in the positive direction. They have the opposite sign, that is in this case the speed will decrease. I generally use this symbol for increase and this symbol for decrease. Now you have to pause the video and try to figure out that in these two cases is the speed increasing or decreasing. So I hope you have able to answer this question. Now let's discuss. Now in this case you can see that acceleration and velocity are pointing in the same direction. So if direction is same, the speed should increase. You might have confusion that this velocity is decreasing because it's in a negative direction. That's true. But if you see the magnitude of velocity, which we call speed, this magnitude will be increasing. So that is why the speed is increasing in the fourth case. Now this is the final one, the third case. Now in this case the acceleration is pointing towards the positive side and the velocity is pointing towards the negative side. So speed should decrease in this case. So it should decrease. Now here we noticed one thing, that when the particle speed increases, it means either velocity become more positive, like in case 1 this velocity is becoming more positive, or it becomes more negative, like in this case here the velocity is becoming more negative but the speed is increasing. So there are two cases possible. Now let's understand one term, which is decelerating. Now decelerating simply means that particles speed is decreasing. There is a misconception among the student that decelerating means negative acceleration. That's not true. It simply means that speed is decreasing. Like in case 3, in this case you can see that this acceleration is positive, it's positive, but the speed is decreasing. So this would be the case of decelerating. Here acceleration is positive, but it's a case of decelerating because the speed is decreasing. Now let's try to plot the v versus t graph of the situations that we have discussed. Now in case 1, acceleration is positive and the velocity is also positive. Now since acceleration is positive, so velocity will increase with time. So the graph would be something like that. Like that. Now case 2. Now here we see that this velocity is positive because it's towards the right side and acceleration is negative. So the velocity should be decreasing with time. So the graph would be something like that. And here this acceleration is constant. That means the average acceleration and the instantaneous acceleration in this case will be same. Now just pause the video and try to make the v versus t plot for these two cases. So I hope you tried. Now let's discuss. Now in third case, we can see that the car has a negative velocity and a positive acceleration. Since acceleration is positive, so velocity will be increasing with time. So the graph would be something like that. Here you can see that the velocity is increasing, but the acceleration is towards the negative side. So that is why the graph is something like that. Now next, case 4. Now in this case, the acceleration is towards the negative side and the velocity is also towards the negative side. That means the velocity will be decreasing with time as this acceleration is negative. So the graph would be something like that. Here you can see that the velocity is decreasing. It has a negative slope. Now, but it's a special case. If you see the speed, which is a magnitude of velocity, speed will be increasing, but velocity is decreasing. So this graph is for case 1. This is for case 2. This is for case 3. And this is for case 4. Now let's get back to the question that I discussed in the starting of the video. So this was a question that I discussed in the starting of the video. Now the initial velocity for object 1, this is for object 1, it is -2 meter per second, and acceleration we are given to be 3 meter per second squared. Now in the first case they are asking that is the speed and velocity of object 1 increasing or decreasing. Now here you see that the direction of velocity and acceleration is opposite. They are pointing in the opposite direction. That means speed should decrease. This thing we have studied in this video. Now and velocity. Now velocity will be increasing because the acceleration is positive. Let me draw the VT graph for this object 1. So this velocity is negative, so it starts from negative and then it goes something like that. So velocity is increasing, but the speed will be decreasing because the magnitude of the velocity, suppose here the velocity is -2, then here it would be -1, and here it is 0. So here the magnitude of velocity is decreasing, that is the speed is decreasing. Now we can discuss the case 2. Now here the initial velocity is 5 meter per second. So for object 2, initial velocity is 5 meter per second and acceleration is -1 meter per second squared. Now here also the direction of acceleration and velocity is in opposite direction, so speed should decrease. We can also make the VT graph for this condition. Initial velocity is 5, so 5, and then it is decreasing because acceleration is negative, so velocity would be something like that. So velocity will be decreasing as this acceleration is negative, and speed is decreasing because the direction of velocity and acceleration is opposite. So this is all with this video, and in the next video we'll discuss the motion with constant acceleration. So we'll meet in the next video. Thank you.